All right, so we're back for part two, and I would love, Stefan, for you to elaborate on your role as a father and as a partero.
I mean, I when we met, I already knew that in case we have children, she's going to want to have a natural birth, and that we are going to do And I am also in
That's
that
how
line,
we fell in love, actually.
Oh,
and I never experienced it, so it's just this like theoretical. Oh, this is that's how it's going to happen. Like there was a partera. We had a person from there with an apprentice. Like I was not alone. I was like in a tribe there was six other women like witches, and I was like there and like responsible also for the logistics, that there's enough food, that there's like the day of the birth there was no water in our water tank, and
oh,
I had to order water that we had like filled up because there was a water shortage in our like
That's so funny.
things happen in that day. You have to be like, oh my god, and I have to like find the solution for this now.
yeah.
So
That's
that's
so
part of the role of the father, to like be kind of on the side and the strong person to like lean on, also to breathe with inside of the birth. But I mean, you can talk from the moment of the birth, where Jana is going to tell in a little moment how she experienced that moment. But
funny.
one of the topic we also have on the list of this interview was like conscious conception, and it starts basically there, to start to prepare all that process also as a father, to support that we have a cozy home, that we can be safe for like the month after, etc. And it was all it was like a trip, like a experience, definitely, to like learn what it means to step into conscious fatherhood also, and like to also like, yeah, go this path. Sometimes sounds very extreme, to like eat the placenta, to make tinctures, to like, it's like raw, it's like raw. But yeah, man, birth is raw, and
Yeah.
for a father it's very empowering to see the blood and to like be part of this process in the best way, guided by like our patera was also part of the Danza de la Luna, so she's very
Moon
guided
dance.
by moon dance, which is a movement also in Austria,
Very feminine
in
movement.
Italia right now, very big, very feminine, where there's
Mexico
like
is the origin.
Mexico is their origins, and all ancestral cultures in that way have like reflection or projection, how the role of the father is also inside of this processes of birth, to hold the space to be a strong person on the
To
side.
nurture the feminine
Um,
so she can give life
Right.
and nurture life. Hmm.
Yeah.
Good, he's a Cancer.
And then when
Yes.
she grows up, now she's 4.5 years old. The role of the father is like eventually like, yes, there is roles. I believe that there's roles. The father is doing more like that, and the mother is more like the nurturing force. Eventually, not that one is more strict. I don't almost don't want to use the word strict, but clear boundaries. I could feel that I could set that easier sometimes, and she could learn from that, and we are learning from each other to
Mhm.
like set the boundaries in a loving way, because I am like more I'm a very sensitive person in that sense. So, like we both with our dynamics can bring in good things. Conscious birth.
Yeah.
How did that
Conscious
feel
birth.
for you?
Well, I completely didn't remember that there was no water. That's a big thing to take care of in Costa Rica in the jungle.
Yeah.
What I do remember is that we had like a checklist of what to prepare from our midwife, and it was it was pretty long, of like all the things, and it was quite amazing recommendations. This is something for anybody who's watching is about to give birth, like and you are in the tropics. Yellow coconuts, and I just remember the moment that he realized I'm giving birth, and he just got like really like on it. He took the machete, he started chopping the coconuts, and he's like just really getting ready for, like, preparing everything. But the experience of his presence, and then I will go into everything else, was just like, it made me feel safe to know that all the checklist and all the logistics, like we had to prepare everything before, but like that he's on it. there's going to be food, there's going to be cacao, there's going to be teas, there's going to be coconut. Like, he's on it. And I could just, I had no idea what was happening, because I was in that dimension of like, I would just look around and be like, oh, okay. So yeah, I was in that space. So from his perspective of the birth and my perspective are like very distinct, I was just there with my womb and the baby coming out and everything I was feeling inside. And he was feeling everything outside. So I think it's a very good complementary. Um, but actually, the reason why I fell in love with him, which is very connected to this birth story, is that we were talking, like just the first night that we sat together by the fire, and we were talking about birth, and he said, "Yeah, I think birth should be orgasmic. That totally makes sense." And I was like,
Please.
okay, this guy knows what he's doing. He knows what's up. Like, where does a man just say that birth should be orgasm? I've never met anyone mine. So yeah, and this is like my favorite part about birth. It's like a quote that I really love. It's like, the way the baby enters the womb is the way the baby comes out of the womb.
Right.
So if there was an orgasm and an intercourse and a making love and this whole, like, sensual, sexual, orgasmic experience to bring the baby inside of the womb of the woman, it must be a good way to bring them outside, right? Which is why, where's my little friend? Which is why I can't believe that people still birth in hospitals.
Yes.
you know, I mean, that is not a place to have sex.
Uh-huh.
You definitely don't feel safe to, like, have like any kind of sexual, like, intimate. The lights are white, it's fluorescent lights. There's doctors who have to go home at 5 o'clock, and if you're not done by 5 o'clock, they just cut you up and take the baby out. Because this is one research that has been done about, like, um most cesarean births are happening around 4 p.m., and that's because the shift of most doctors ends at 5 p.m. Like, isn't that crazy? This
That's
is
crazy.
crazy.
We
Yeah.
have to have our eyes open on that.
Yes.
Yeah, open.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And one of the things on the checklist was prepare a hospital bag. And I tried and I tried and I tried, and I asked him to do it, and he said, "I don't know what you want in that bag. Like, you are the one that likes things your way. Like, you please just prepare." And I remember, like, just being in that room with all I already organized everything perfectly, and I'm like, I'm just gonna put some bathing suit, and, like, if anything happens, I just need to go to the ocean, and I trust I'll be fine. So I prepared a beach bag instead of a hospital bag, because I figured if I'm in the ocean, I'll be okay, and that's way better for me and safer for me than a hospital.
Right.
um and eventually, no, I mean, like, we had it in our home, and it was just such a cozy, like, we lit candles, incense. He managed to figure out the water situation. I don't know how we filled the pool with water if we had no water, but that good job.
And I mean,
Mm,
my role in that is also just to add on the birth story. Is like, my view was really beautiful to like go in kind of intimacy and like go into that realm of
mm,
like being connected, breathe with her, hold her in the
mm,
pool, just sustain her back. And like this just empowers also conscious fatherhood, it empowers like the man. And it was
Hmm.
beautiful to be on the side singing and breathing and like, yeah,
yeah.
the many waves.
In many ways. I feel like, fast forward, like, 9 to 12 hours later, like, what brought our baby out in a, I would say, like, orgasmic and painful, like, it's a very thin line, right? Because it's not painful, it's somehow orgasmic, but it's mostly just like very intense sensations in the body. You want to label it painful, go ahead. I would label it just powerful, right? And in the mind, that shifts a lot. for a woman who's giving birth, it's like it's powerful. It's not painful. It's just sensations, right? And there's ways to regulate the amount of intensity of the sensations, and eventually it goes between like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, and it's like that, right? And it kind of does resemble, intercourse and like love making. And so fast forward, the witches, aka midwives, has left the room and gave us the space, and they're like, okay, we've been here for a while trying to get the baby out. I think it's time to get the baby out. Why don't you guys take some time for yourselves? So he like started to drum, and then we started like getting intimate, and just as soon as we started getting like intimate in terms of like really like kind of touching and stimulation, I'm like, okay, the baby's coming.
Beautiful.
And there she was, so yeah. Yeah, it was a lot of also like physical work
Mm.
from my part, because I was like in a kind of a strange, very open hip position. So I would say like squats and yoga and like some form of like strengthening your lower body,
Right.
is because you cannot really strengthen your upper body so much, maybe your arms, when you're pregnant, right? So like strengthening the legs and the hips is like the most important thing you can do in those 9 months. Just like do sit-ups and or what do you call it, squats every day. And that would for whatever situation it would be helpful.
Right.
um but yeah, it was just an amazing experience. I would say even for our next birth, I would have even less people. I would have it even more just like him and me, and maybe somebody on call that could be. But for my first birth, I just wanted to be safe, so I could organize an entourage. Yeah. Yeah, but it was amazing also to have him take the baby out, right? So the midwife helped to support the baby coming out, and then I pushed,
Mhm.
and Stefan catch her. So the first hands that she ever came to was his hands.
Right.
And
And
I think,
bare hands,
and
right?
of course,
No
of
gloved
course, with
hands.
all the blood and all of it all over.
Right.
Yeah, like no, there's no. We had like cotton to wrap her, obviously to keep her warm,
Yeah.
but no, no, no plastic gloves. My God, no.
Mhm.
There's also one quote that is like also my favorite quote is by Gurmukh. Gurmukh is one of the oldest Kundalini yoga teachers that is still alive, and she wrote "Beautiful, Bountiful, and Blissful." That is a birthing book, like it is a birth preparation book.
Mhm.
And she said the most important. No, she said when a child is born and the first faces or eyes they see is their mother and father together, happy to receive them, this
Yeah.
alone can change the world. So
I
yeah,
feel.
I feel like this is, yeah, it's such a beautiful thing. It's not like a doctor, it's not, it's just like us. Hey, welcome,
Yeah.
welcome to the world. Hmm.
Wow.
Hmm.
I find it so wonderful to listen to you and speak about your experience of birthing and becoming parents. And oh my, you display so much of the sacredness um, that is possible, and you are living it. And it's such a contrast to how birth is being hospitalized, and the fear mongering of the protocol, and the
Yeah.
and I think um, when one is born in the hospital, one is more likely to give birth in the hospital. So it becomes inherited in a sense. And what I find so beautiful and strong about you is that you have such a sense of trust in the knowing of your body. You were so ready to give birth on your own terms.
Mm.
And in your partnering together.
Mhm.
And obviously, I work with women who have experienced trauma in birth. And what I find is that what plays a huge part is not being fully connected with their holy yes and their holy no, and being able to surrender to that. And that has to do often with how they grew up, and just trying to be the good girl, pleasing, being nice.
Mhm.
Um, so also, um, what's the word? Um, leaving uh, leaving themselves to be connected with the authority figure, being a parent or a caretaker, a caregiver, or somebody else that has to say something about them. And that plays a huge part in when they give birth, and also things they experience with their own giving birth has to do with how they were being born. And
Right.
yeah, and catches back on topics in the women line of the
Mhm.
ancestors, that has to do with perhaps pregnancy loss, or um, mothers dying at while giving birth,
Mhm.
and so that is some kind of a emotional or energetic imprint that then reoccurs, with not with the body somehow overriding, um, and not being able to let the baby go, because when the baby is being born, you're dying. That's the emotional imprint. And
Mhm.
Your
I
life is going to be
cannot.
over when you're a mother.
What?
No, it starts.
Sorry?
No,
What?
he's saying that there's this myth, or like some kind of like a belief that we are imprinted with in society, is that when you give birth and become parents, your life as a human being is over, because now you have to like sacrifice your life for your child, and you don't have time, and blah blah
Mhm.
blah.
Mhm.
But I honestly have done more with my life since I have a child than I have done before.
Yeah,
It's just a matter of how you prioritize, how you
true.
set boundaries with yourself, with your child, with
Yeah,
yeah, it's quite empowering, actually, more than disempowering.
yeah,
I mean, what you're mentioning also for me points a little bit to something that you also had in the list of the topics, how to like um, go down the ancestral timelines and work through them in this unhealed energy. Like you
yeah,
say, you were born in the hospital, you're probably gonna give birth in the hospital. It's
yeah,
like um, uh, as doing this, you're like that. Like the elders here say, we cannot repair the old humanity. To talk on a bigger level, we can only plant new seeds for a new humanity, which is our taking care of our children that represent us, and then walking like a way honoring life
right.
in that sense, in a deeper understanding. So for me, it definitely has been like, I mean, we all have been born in hospitals. All of our placentas have been thrown away. So
Yeah,
we all had have
Some
as a
trauma.
baby
Hmm.
some trauma, and like it is a very good way to like work through your own trauma, even accompanied by people like you or like us who had these experiences, and then like get this, like this is the biggest empowerment to like
yeah,
for conscious masculine, like for even to have the intention to have children and trust in that part again,
Hmm.
like commit to a couple, walk that path to actually like be able to conceive consciously and say like yes and then make that way like that's like birthing the new humanity, and then like going all the way through, in some sense, no vaccines, no medicaments, because our bodies are so strong just growing up around healthy environments. We need
right.
more permaculture intentions, more regenerative life. It goes to a much bigger topic, but
Yeah,
I
This is
definitely,
also how it's been done before anything.
yeah,
Like, how
yeah,
did they do it before we started the industrial and pharmaceutical things. Like nobody had been vaccinating their children, and they were more resilient than any of the humans on planet Earth today.
Eventually, we
Right.
don't really know.
Well,
Especially
Yeah.
with Lotus birth, because that's why I ask you, are there any significance on your daughter um, because she was Lotus born, and the immune system is likely to be stronger with Lotus
and breastfeeding.
and breastfeeding, of course, and placenta
The
placenta
placenta and
eating.
the
Yeah,
yeah, lotus birth and breastfeeding.
yeah,
But then like I feel like when the mother eats the placenta, like I had postpartum bliss. I didn't, you know what I mean? And I want to, like, with deep respect to postpartum depression, like I know this is a very real thing, because, this is not like your
definitely.
identity shifts. You're, like you said, you die and you're reborn into a mother. Like
Yeah,
the maiden archetype is finished, that cycle, and
right.
then you're in the mother archetype. So that's a big deal. And how you prepare for it and how you go through this initiation into motherhood, and how much support you have from your partner. So there's many variables, and I don't want to discount postpartum depression,
Of
but
course
there
not.
are definitely tools to create postpartum bliss, and one of them is eating your placenta.
Yeah,
If you don't want to eat it and you think, and you're vegan, I don't know, you know what I mean, just make a tincture out of it, but honor that. Like, don't just be like, oh, like, oh my god, no, it's this is the most important part of your child's becoming a human,
right.
right? Is the placenta. Like, we have to respect it, even if we're vegan, I think, in whatever way, like powder it into capsules, and I just feel like so strongly about it. And I was vegan before. It's not like but we need to be strong. We need to, like,
Yeah,
take care of our bodies. Otherwise, yeah, postpartum depression is when the body is depleted. It's a neurochemical, you know, uh, thing that happens. So we
yeah,
have to treat it in a way, or we have to nurture it in a way that gives us the vitality that we need to have to nurture our child, so that they have the vitality they need to have to live life, right?
exactly, exactly.
Mm.
And that is what I find so powerful um, of of your experience. And I so strongly know and feel in my body that if we have more knowledge and wisdom and experience on this type of natural birth that you initiated for your family, that would change so much. And
Mhm.
I think part of preconception is also working with the ancestral timelines to really dive into what beliefs are there in our family line about conception, about pregnancy, about birthing, about postpartum, about parenthood, about feeling supported, about feeling nourished, or a lack of it.
Mhm.
Because if not, if it's not addressed, then it will present itself in the making of new life. And I
I
believe if um, let me put an example. When a mother comes to me because of her complaints after having given birth, we we go back to the situations um, that were traumatic for her, and then we let them not to re-experience it, but to go back to what was my body saying to me in that exact moment. What was it that my body needed in that exact
Mhm.
moment? And then
Mhm.
give the body like a full green card. Go ahead, do it your way. And
Mhm.
um, after acknowledging and feeling what has not been felt, what has gotten frozen in that situation, that gets to get melted, and and the life force energy that was left behind there is accessible again.
Mhm.
And then the body is allowed and and being held space for to give birth in the way it
Mhm.
was supposed to be, in the knowledge of the body.
Mhm.
And that brings the bliss back.
Mhm.
And that is how she feels safe again. And that is how she feels empowered again. Like this,
It's
this
beautiful.
is
So it's like
absolutely
somatic work, trauma work.
100%. 100%.
Mhm.
It's all about reincarnating. So it's about fully being present in the body.
Mhm.
It's embodiment work.
Mhm. I feel if I may speak to what you've been sharing, because there's quite I have like an empowering um message to share, I guess, about this.
Mhm.
So we're talking about preconception,
Yeah.
right? Because it's beautiful to do this work after the conception and then go back, and for sure, I mean, there's
Mhm.
things that can go wrong in some way,
Yeah.
But if
but
you listen to this, better do it the other way so you don't have to create a trauma in the first place.
exactly.
Right.
Well, what I'm trying to say, like, it's for sure important to heal the trauma, and this is a
Mm.
beautiful way to do it. Directly accessing this moment in the body where it gets stuck energetically, and then
Right.
liberating that. And I love that so much. I think it's such a beautiful work, and it's so important to do because sometimes things happen and they already happened. You cannot go back in time. You
Mhm.
can only move forward, and that's a really powerful way to move forward, how you work with your clients. But I would say one thing I would do, and I do that to prepare women for birth. I even have a video of like the four most important things that you can do before you give birth.
Right.
And this is that same work of really getting very, very intimately connected with the wisdom of your body. And and that's the preconception. So whatever you need to do, like,
Your body knows it.
do as much inner work and as much body work, somatic work,
Yeah.
before you even think about having babies,
Right.
because then you go into pregnancy
Yeah.
with this powerful connection with your body,
Yeah.
that you know exactly what the body needs. You know exactly what, like, I knew exactly what I needed to not have the nausea.
Mhm.
Like every time I was like, oh, I'm feeling like this, I was like, okay, apple, okay, orange juice. That was like my medicines. And I would just not get nauseous because I would always have orange juice and an apple in my bag. And that would just make it go. I don't know even know what it is, vitamin C and malic acid. I don't know what it is about it, but I knew what my body needed,
Yeah.
and doing yoga and doing meditation and doing all those like somatic and energetic work with the body, with your mind, like being very, very clear with your mind when you go into pregnancy. Actually, in Indian tradition of birth, I did a prenatal and postnatal through an Indian school, and they talked more about the preconception more than anything else. They
Yeah.
said like the most important thing you can do is prime your body
Yeah.
before to have the baby, because then you have everything in the body to give to the baby.
Right.
And then you have that like powerful energetic alignment to be, and then, okay, so now you're pregnant, you're going through the pregnancy, now comes birth. You already have so much inner confidence with your body,
Yeah.
and that meditative awareness and intuition and connection with the baby. And in some level, like, a birth can take 2 hours, a birth can take 5 hours, a birth can take 3 days.
But the baby is going to come out. It's going to come out.
It There's no
Right.
case in planet Earth where the baby did not come out of the womb,
Uh-huh.
right? Like, it will come out, even if it takes 3 days,
Yeah.
you know? So this is the most important thing. It's like trust your body, trust the baby, and trust the timing that it takes your body and your baby to get ready to come out to the world. Maybe some babies are like, I'm not ready yet. I need to like get my hair done. You know what I'm saying? They're getting ready inside of that. They finishing their processes, and then they come out whenever they're ready. So don't try to rush the process. Don't try, like, okay, you've been in labor for like 24 hours. It's okay, just rest as much as you can, and have the support that you need, and communicate with your body and tell your baby it's safe to come.
Yeah.
Regulate your breath, like do all those practices. There's a lot of like, I think, before you even become a parent, there's so much that goes in there in order to guarantee, like, in some level we cannot guarantee it, but you can, you can do your best to create a birth experience, a pregnancy experience, and a sacred conception experience. Like, it's your choices at
Right.
the end. It's the woman's choices, the man's choices to take care of their body, to take care of their baby.
There is a small delay. We'll wait it out a bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're back.
Hey. Yeah.
Cool.
So it's also very important for the man to make sure that their seed is powerful,
Right.
right? So it's how they eat before they put the seed into the womb, right? Like, they're this I realized on Father's Day. I was like, wait a minute, we're just the oven that bakes the bread. They're the bread. They put the
Yeah.
bread in the oven. It's the baby is actually created by the man.
Yeah.
We just bring it into life,
Mhm.
right? So like how the diet of the man, the exercise of the man, the amount of life force, the hormonal balance of the man during conception,
Yeah.
like they have the biggest responsibility to prepare the seed, and we need to prepare the space to receive the seed,
Yeah.
and then yeah, like I think the most important thing in conscious in like a blissful birth is to be able to trust and communicate to your body and know exactly what it needs, and this meditative ability to like really communicate with the baby and just trust your body, trust your baby. I think that's like my most important message that I could say is trust your body, trust your baby, and get sexy, because
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
what brought the baby in is gonna bring the baby out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
it's a very like physical, somatic, sensual experience,
Yes.
and we made it make it a medical emergency.
So I see we have just a
It's
minute
not a
left.
medical
Yeah,
emergency.
I see we just have a minute left, and
exactly.
maybe want to also like just go in one more time in the list, and also just mention that like all these details. I think we could talk hours about topics in some senses. Maybe
Yeah.
we deepen one of the topics. If are people listening and saying like, "Hey, this topic, we want another one,"
And
Yeah.
uh,
make a video
could
separate.
could be another one. But also just for I see it. We choose just in general in this moment of time a very different lifestyle. We live like up in the mountain in Colombia, with like six, seven, eight more families who are like also vibrating and like having a life more connected to original or natural medicines and like recovering your own story. We had in the just in the topics like it takes a village to raise a child, living in nature, homeschooling, yes or no, and
Yeah.
all to all these things we can just say like yes, live in nature, be connected to Mother Earth, like
Yeah.
understand where water comes from. Like we need that revolution as a humanity in some sense. So yes, it takes a village to raise a child. We have a small school, and like it's good to grow these new seeds where we actually can manifest what needs to be manifested. And yeah, we have some seconds. We maybe can just restart another one.
Yeah, I would love to repeat this and elaborate on all the topics